Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Free Flyknit 4.0 running shoes. Now this is of course a continuation of the running shoe series of videos on my channel, where once or twice a month I make a showcase video highlighting the latest and greatest as far as running shoes are concerned. And as of right now, the newest release that everyone's talking about is the Nike Free Flyknit 4.0, which is a shoe that I've been anticipating for quite a while now. Now, as far as the running shoe series is concerned, if you have any suggestions of shoes you'd like to see, be sure to leave those down below in the comments. But the reason why I'm showing you these ones today is because I find them to be particularly relevant to the soccer world as a whole. One, training off the field is important for any soccer player, and the running shoes that you choose might have a bigger impact on your training than you might expect. Now, of course, everyone has their own opinion on what I'm about to say, but for me personally, when I'm training off the field, doing any kind of running or stuff like that, I like to wear something a little bit more low profile, a little bit closer to the ground, and something that provides a little bit less cushion, like the Nike Free line, just because it more closely mimics actually running in a pair of soccer shoes that have very minimal cushioning and are extremely low profile with next to no support whatsoever. These are also very flexible, like you'll find from a pair of soccer cleats. So again, doing training in a pair of shoes that have really thick cushioning, to me, just doesn't make too much sense for soccer. But again, everybody has their own opinions and everybody has their own preferences. The second reason why I thought this shoe was particularly relevant to the soccer world is simply because it features a Flyknit upper, something that is becoming more and more prominent in Nike's high-end soccer shoes as we await the Nike Magista Obra as well as the Superfly 4. So if you kind of want an early introduction of the kind of Flyknit technology and how it feels and how it fits to your foot and how good it actually can be, because I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand Flyknit at this point in time, this is a great option, especially considering it retails for what I consider to be a relatively fair price of $120 US. And keep in mind, this shoe is available in lots and lots of colorways at launch, and if you're interested in picking up a pair for yourself, I will leave a buy it now link down below in the description. As far as colorway is concerned, the one I have right here is the standard black and white color. To me, I thought these look really good and it shows off the Flyknit design. It's kind of cool how with the Flyknit material they can kind of make these different patterns. They can structure it in certain areas. They can make it more flexible, make it more breathable, just basically in every area that they want. And again, I think Flyknit is very, very advanced and is really well suited for a soccer cleat. So again, as far as whether or not this compares to what we're going to see on the Superfly or the Magista, it's kind of hard to say without actually having worn them myself. But again, just know that I'm fairly confident with Nike and their Flyknit technology. They've really been working on it. There's been a strong evolution of this technology ever since they first put it out in 2012. And like I said, I'm pretty confident that it will translate well to a soccer cleat style upper. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, the Nike Free 4.0 definitely has more of a traditional running shoe layout, has a standard opening. There is no actual liner on the inside. It's strictly Flyknit material, something that I think is pretty cool. And it does have an independent tongue at the top, whereas this area is actually all attached. So it does have a tighter, more sock-like fit on your foot, which you guys will see a little bit later in the video. And then, of course, going down the sides, you do have your fly wire. It's a little bit difficult to see here, but it is in there. It's not really super visible on this particular model, but there is Flyknit going through these little kind of ace kind of frames or V frames, whatever you want to call them, and that's going to provide your structure in the midfoot, so it's going to lock everything in place and keep you nice and secure when you are running. Please keep in mind this is a running shoe and not a training shoe either, so if you're going to be making hard lateral cuts, you might not get the support that you would require from a pair of shoes, especially considering there's minimal rubber on the bottom as well. This is more for straight line running and not really training. So again, please keep that in mind. You have your Nike Free Flyknit 4.0 branding there on the top, and laces down the middle. It's pretty straightforward. The toe box area is kind of more structured around the toe, and then very, very thin and stretchy here over top of your toes to allow for that natural flexibility and nice breathability and just ventilation throughout the entire shoe. There's ventilation through the midfoot as well. And again, it's just a really, really cool, well thought out design. That's what I like about Flyknit. Everything has to make sense because they have to design every square inch of the shoe. It's not one single material. It's actually woven together to make one single piece for the upper, which is something that I think just looks really, really cool and performs and feels good too. Now, as far as the Free 4.0 outsole is concerned, I'm sure a lot of you guys are confused as to why there's a Nike Free 5.0, 4.0 and 3.0. Of course, the uppers are different, but there's actually a difference in the outsoles as well. Now, this is the new free 4.0 outsole for 2014. It has those same hexagon cutouts you're going to find on the other two models, but the difference here is going to be the offset in the heel and forefoot. So what this means is that the free 5.0 is going to have an 8mm offset. So the heel sits 8mm higher than the forefoot. Normally, a traditional running shoe would have an offset of about 10 to 12 millimeters. That's kind of the standard. So having an 8mm offset in the 5.0 model is kind of giving you that nice transition period where it's kind of like a more natural runner, but at the same time, it's still somewhat close to a traditional running shoe, so it's not too big of a transition for you, whereas the free 4.0 is kind of that middle ground between the 5.0 model and the 3.0 model, where it has an offset of 6mm. So again, the heel sits 6mm higher than the forefoot. Sorry, it's a little bit of a tongue twister there. And then of course the 3.0 model sits 4mm higher in the heel than it does in the forefoot. So there's only a 2mm difference from the 5.0 to the 4.0 to the 3.0. They all go down 2mm as far as heel height is concerned, but it does actually make a pretty big difference when you are running over long periods of times. You will notice that little bit of lack of cushioning, that lack of support, and just a more flat base overall. But to me, again, if you're training for soccer, something like the free 3.0, the free 4.0, and even the 5.0 model are just better options overall, just because you have a little bit less cushioning, more of a natural, flexible feel, and it just mimics more of a soccer shoe type of running experience. As far as the outsole is concerned, it's made from that same kind of Phylite Phylon material, where it's fairly dense, but at the same time provides a nice amount of cushioning underfoot, a surprising amount, I should say, considering how thin it actually is. And then, of course, it has all those flex grooves throughout, so you're going to have lots and lots of flexibility, not much structure to the shoe whatsoever. As far as having any plastic or anything like that, there isn't any at all. And then, of course, you have minimal amounts of rubber under your feet, again, making this ideal for straight line running and not so much for training, just because you're not going to have a lot of grip under your feet should you make a hard lateral cut or anything like that. It's pretty much just straight foam. So you have in the high wear zone areas those black rubber pieces in the heel, your black rubber pieces at the toe, and that's pretty much it. It's very lightweight, it's very flexible, and feels great on feet as well. One last thing, the insole is fully removable. You can see it's got the size tag right there for those wondering. Mesh liner on top, Nike free branding right there. It's Volt Yellow in color, and then it's basically an Ortholite insole. Got that little bit of sponginess to it. Pretty much the same Nike free insole you're going to find on the 5.0, 3.0, and 4.0 models. Alright, here's a look at the Nike Free Flyknit 4.0s on feet, and from right out of the box, this is a very, very comfortable shoe. You get tons of flexibility from that Nike Free outsole. There's really no restrictiveness to it whatsoever, and in terms of being nice and close to the ground, you definitely get that feel with the 4.0 layout. As far as the upper is concerned, the Flyknit upper is extremely soft, very, very flexible, and pretty much fits and feels like a sock. You can wear these with or without socks on your feet. They feel great without socks, but the problem is they'll start to stink pretty quickly, depending on, how much your feet stink, I guess. But for me, wearing them with socks is ideal if you want them to, like I said, smell a little bit cleaner for longer periods of time. But in terms of overall comfort, like I said, they feel like a pair of socks on your feet. They're structured where they need to be. They're flexible and breathable where they need to be. And it's just a great material for this style of low-profile, flexible running shoe. In terms of overall fit, it's a tighter fitting shoe through the midfoot. So if you have really wide feet, you may want to try them on. But for the most part, they will be suitable for pretty much all foot types. Whereas the area in the forefoot and toe box is much more open, much more flexible and stretchy, so it's going to be suitable for pretty much all foot widths in that area of the shoe. As far as sizing is concerned, I find the Free series to run about a half size small. Normally I'd wear a 9.5 in running shoes, but for the Free Flyknit 4.0 I went up to a 10 US, and the fit in the length is absolutely perfect. So for the most part, unless you're sizing versus unless you're comparing your sizing to another Nike Free model, in which case you would want to go with the same size, but normally I would recommend going a half size up for the best possible fit in any of the Nike Frees. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the latest Free Flyknit 4.0. This is a great pair of shoes if you're looking for a low profile pair of training shoes that you can wear for running, and you can also wear casually because they look really good. It has that Flyknit upper, and it's available at a relatively affordable price of $120 US. So again, if you're interested in purchasing a pair of these for yourself, I would recommend checking out the review page on my website, linked down below in the description. On that review page, you'll find the high quality images of this shoe here, just to give you a better idea as to how they actually actually do look in person, as well as you'll find buy it now links with the best prices online in all of the available colorways. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. Also on my sneaker channel, there's an alternate colorway of the free Flyknit 4.0. So if you want to see these shoes in another color, I'll leave an annotation on screen to that video as well. Other than that though, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave me a comment down below. And also, if you have any suggestions for other running shoes you'd like to see featured on the channel, leave those down below in the comments as well. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.